And I wore a white dress and a veil had bobby pinned in my hair. And I walked out of that penthouse. I met with Johnny in the hallway, and I thought he looked so handsome, and he seemed happy, and I felt we were making the right decision. I was so looking forward to having this. I thought we'd get married and we'd have stability, safety. So we get in the car, we get into actually Johnny's car.
I say kitchenette, but it's more of a bar. I remember there were these cooling fridges, and I remember kind of being slammed up against those. I remember pushing him off of me. I remember the name calling, the whore, the slut, the fat ass. I remember a lot of name calling. I said,
Had he been drinking by this time?
he was drinking.
Calls for speculation and leading.
Also seen as leading.
What, if any, drinks had you observed Mr. Depp have by this time?
Well, I had already seen him drink right in front of me. He took a big swig out of a wine bottle upstairs right in front of me as in a gesture of again, forgive me, I wish I could remember the sequence, but it's flashes. He's throwing these bottles at me. I remember retreating. There were also cans, like soda cans, beer or soda cans, and they're coming at me one after the other, and I keep pulling myself into the bar area. There's a bar behind me in like I don't know, like an L shape. He's standing in the only way you can exit, so I'm kind of trapped in front of this sink, surrounded by bar on three sides with him in front of me-ish, kind of front off to the left, and he's throwing these bottles one after the other, and I can feel glass breaking behind me. I remember feeling one of them go by my head really fast. I mean, a real velocity. I remember being terrified. I remember I couldn't move, I couldn't go anywhere. I eventually, he ran out of things to throw. I think that's how I moved myself towards the exit. And I believe that's most likely when we got kind of in this struggle by the bar area. Because I remember my feet slipping on the tile as he was slamming me from the wall to the countertops. At one point, he has me up against the wall and he's punching the wall. He had my, nightgown and it kind of ripped it off my chest. I remember at one point he's teasing me, taunting me that he has my breasts in his hands. My nightgown came completely off. It was ripped off of me. He's teasing me, taunting me that he has my breasts in his hands. My nightgown came completely off. It was ripped off of me. So I was naked, and I'm slipping around on this tile and trying to get my footing. And I just remember slipping on this tile. Glass was underneath me, and I remember just trying to get my footing. I felt really destabilized and felt really vulnerable. I'm naked. And he's flinging me around, and at some point, I'm up against the wall, and he's screaming at me that he fucking hates me, that I ruined his life. I remember I ruined his life over and over. And he starts punching the wall next to my head. I remember taking a bunch of sleeping pills. Not a bunch, like 2. Which is a lot for me. I remember falling asleep, or I don't remember falling asleep, but I know I fell asleep because I woke up the next day. I assume it was late morning. I could hear him downstairs. I could hear Marilyn Manson music. I eventually fell asleep. I came back downstairs to look for my phone, which Johnny had picked up before security came in. He picked up my phone and said, "We're going to get to the bottom of this." He wasn't making any sense at the time. Understandably, just different. Nothing made sense. But he picked up my phone and was saying, I'm going to prove this. We're going to get to this. We're going to get to the proof of this. Something to that effect. I don't remember his exact words. And he was just whacking me in the face, like repetitive. We struggle on the games table. I don't know how we get up. I don't know if he pulls me up. I wish I could tell you, but we were in this struggle down in this games room by the bar. And we had this conversation about the drinking, or argument about the drinking, and he holds up this bottle to me, and you know, I'm saying, did you drink this whole? And like he does that 2 or 3 times. I reach for it, he'd revoke it, kind of laugh at me, and he's holding out the bottle. I think like maybe the 3rd time or so I get a hold of it. I pick it up and I slam it down on the ground right in between us. It's a tile floor, a white tile floor. And I smashed the bottle on the floor. And that really set him off. So stupid. Sorry. It was like a light bulb switch went off. He starts screaming. I don't know if he backhanded me or hit me normally. I don't really. And I realized I was back on the chopping block. I realized it was back. Like, I realized that the arrows were pointed at me again. And I tried to defend myself. I was explaining, trying to say that.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
It was not for to prove the truth of the matter. She hasn't even said it yet, but try not to say what you're saying unless it needs it for context or something. Try to say what he's saying.
I'll sustain the objection.
Okay.
He was just belligerent. I don't know how to describe to you because it wasn't making sense. It wasn't making sense. I don't know how. I don't know how the immediate next string of the next part of the violence actually even initiated, but again, at one point he, I mentioned that, well, I can't say what I mentioned. He, as a result of that phone call, picks up the phone and calls his agent. I don't know why, still to this frankly, should not hide it from me. And he kind of seemed to suggest that we should do it together. And I was like, absolutely not. Like, I just got here. I I want to see you. I want to spend time with you. It was the exact opposite of what I expected and what I wanted. And it just seemed delusional at the time to me that he would even suggest this to be something that I could participate in with him. If you had been through what I had been through at that point, it's crazy. And at some point, he drinks in front of me. Easy for him to throw me around like that, I just slid, screeching my skin against this beautiful wooden floor. And we had another argument that I got the knock on the door.
Okay.
That was right before I left.
So as before you headed to Australia, what, if any, requests did you make of Mr. Depp for him to get you MDMA?
That's ridiculous.
Why is that ridiculous?
Because I would never, since that time I learned my lesson the hard way on the plane to Russia, I would never do MDMA with him. I'm asking for a problem in that case. Like that, I would never do that.
Okay. So you flew to Australia, and whose home was this in Australia?
It was I think like a well-known sportsman, racing cars or something of that nature.
Okay. Let's, Michelle, if you can pull up 1810. Is this another picture from that home?
Yes, that looks like it's the view from the bathroom.
Okay. And then let's go, Michelle, if you can pull up 1811.
That is the driveway leading up to the house that Johnny was renting while shooting Pirates 5.
Okay. And then I'm going to try to make this a little faster, and I'm going to go 1810.
Ms. Brethoff, if you have a series of photos, if you want to
Yes.
show council what they are, maybe we can get them in it all together, and then you could just
Yes,
go on with your questions.
yes, in fact. And these are all, I will represent, ones that we got from Mr. King.
All right, if you want to take a look at them.
And Your Honor, if I may just approach, I'll give you the whole stack.
Okay, that's fine.
You can keep that up if you want. By the way, Amber, do you see those kangaroos in there?
When I was pulling up to the house, I saw kangaroos as well.
This was a pretty big driveway.
And I said, Johnny,
Objection, hearsay.
he confirmed that he took that amount and that he could take that amount.
And what amount?
At this point, there were 10, he had taken 10. 8 or 10, I can't recall.
And when you say at this point, is that the first night? Is that the second day?
This is the second day. This is after I've already fallen asleep for the night in the room upstairs. Come back downstairs, he was still awake.
Okay. Please continue with that second day.
He was accusing me of being mean to his sister. He was accusing me of not liking his sister. Something about the wedding. I was trying to put out that fire, as you will. I was trying to say, no, no, no. First of all, I'm not filming with Billy Bob. No, I wasn't filming with Jim.
1834, 1835, 1837, 1838, 1839, 1840, 1841, and 1842. Did I get them all?
I believe so.
I want to make sure more than believe, so we agree that's all in evidence? Okay. They're all in evidence. So as long as you're just going to be referencing those photos, we'll keep it on for you to publish them.
Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate it. Okay. Whose home was
Disgusting. He made this mistake. It was a big mistake. And everyone hated me. And I remember crying on the floor. Just, more than anything, I was heartbroken. I thought maybe he was serious. I thought maybe, God, he doesn't love me. Maybe he really feels this way. It broke my heart. Broke my heart. I wanted to marry him so bad. I wanted
this is the man I loved, you know. Yes, it was awful at times, but I loved him and what he was
Objection, Your
saying.
Honor, non-responsive.
Overruled.
What he was saying to me hurt just as bad as anything else. I just remember that all times to have a backless dress. And I was just looking at pictures. I was on the red carpet. It was surreal because I was checking for bruises and making sure that nothing, like there would be no marks on me, and we just looked like this other thing on this red carpet when it was just. It was not like that. It's embarrassing. You know, it's hard to. I'm sure it's hard to.
Objection, Your Honor, non-responsive.
All right, I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
I'm going to take you to February, the next month, 2015, to your wedding. Can you please tell the jury about your wedding?
At some point, I don't know how much time had passed. He was sitting at the piano in the living room of the hotel room that we had. It's so. I know it may be hard to understand. It's hard for me to hear myself say, but I felt. I just wanted it to stop. I wanted things to just be okay. And I just sat next to him on the piano and I just laid my head on his shoulder, and it was, of course I was mad. Of course I was mad and felt it was horrible what he'd done. But on the other hand, I wanted us to be okay. I could just put I could put the physical stuff in a box, and I just kept going back on how much I love this person. So just put my makeup on and went to the premiere with him and walked the red carpet with him. And I remember in the car checking my phone obsessively for pictures because my dress was backless.
I expressed that to him. He says, "Who is the guy, the one in New York that you're fucking?" And it was such a bizarre conversation because it had already started to feel like he was not making. It was almost as if he was confused by what sentence he had started by the time he got to the end of it. And then all of a sudden he tells me that I have just told him that I had a boyfriend or a lover in New York, and he's accusing me of having just told him about it, which was crazy to me. Not only was that not accurate, I would never have communicated with him like that. More or less called him on the phone to do it and then call him back and wonder what the connection issue was. It was just the most bizarre thing. But he was so worked up, incoherent, and accusing me of having had